Okay, right. So, idol, they should understand something about. You ever wonder why people call it an idol? Doesn't it mean God? Relic. Egyptian idol, yes. Ancient times idol. This, when you say things, you cast something. You become something. When you claim that you are an idol,
Yeah.
you are spelling into the existence. You are sending out a frequency. Now, it's cool to say that you're an idol. It's fine. Yes. No problem there at all. The fact is that you mirror image right in front of you with a code. But a code in action, there's a code in the universe, there's a code in computers, there's a code, a frequency, a fingerprint, a recognition. Now, it's hard for people to get their head around whether there is something beyond this. It's really hard for people to wrap their head around it. And it's good reason, right? How do we do this? How can we explain it? All people are children. Young, new, evolving individuals that have to learn a lot of stuff in order to understand the power in which each and every single being holds. Each and every single being has potential to be carbon copy of one another, but in a way that is slightly different to each other. So it makes no sense for everybody to be the same. Okay, so if everyone was the same, if the universe wanted carbon copies, divine, okay, divine, you might label it as spirituality, you may label it as God. It works to a degree, but God's apostrophe S. Spirits, apostrophe S. Life forms, apostrophe S. When you look on your own planet, take a look. How many life forms are here? Including nature, animals, yourself. Even the water itself reverberates, it's in existence. The star, when you look up, the sun, the stars, everything. It's all alive. It's all energy and motion. Lovely. Anyway, so if you were to become all carbon copies of the same thing, it doesn't work, okay? The universe has to hold on to memory. Memory comes into you. Capacity for memory has to grow, evolve. You take mobile phones, laptops, computers. You have to upgrade the memory. The more memory that you have, the more processor power you have, the more it's able to multitask, to be able to... This is the same is true with humans. But you have to update yourselves. And where was we getting on? For idols, yes, idol. When you say, I am an idol. Isn't it amazing how your life contrasts some piece of a puzzle that plays out in front of you that you would think that other people would learn by looking at you? So we say idol, we say God. Here's the thing. An idol would say that before fame, maybe, some cases, they didn't have many friends, yeah? Misfits, odd ones out. Which, again, you're walking an idol path. You don't realize it, not because you're bone idle, not because you're lazy. No, you are mirroring something more than you even know, and you're more closer to this than you even realize yourself, and you are living proof of it in a way, and it has to be this way. Okay, so idol. Before you become an idol, you're already on the path to be it. You must have resonated inside yourself. You found something. You unlocked something. Now, beforehand is the unseen. The is it or isn't it? No one could quite fit you. No one could quite put you into a category. No one could work you out. And you did something, and boom. Then all of a sudden, the amount of people that can't sit still around you. Everybody wants something from you. Now, is it from you? Or is it from your aura? Is it being in close relation to you because of what they can get when you become famous? Famous is a fickle thing. Why did you get famous? Some people get famous because you need to be loved. That is the most wrong move ever. And anyone that's in that position right now because they did it for the wrong reason and then had to find out later, this can become quite an extensive road. I would help you using synthetics to slowly but surely change the way you look on TV until it blurs the line between your real appearance being how you look in real life. And I begin molding you, your synthetic mask that you'll have to wear in every photo shoot and subtly change it. When you change something slowly but surely, you don't notice how much the sea erodes shorelines, right? The same thing can be happened here. And then this will lock you out of fame. Your persona in the mask is the famous person, and when you pull it off, you're going to live a normal life. You have to change your identity and do things like that. If it meant that you stay alive and you get happy, I'm not sure how it works after that. That will be your building block to operate on. When most people see people who are famous, they envy it. But why do they envy it? Because they need to be seen. They need to be loved. But people who go after you because you're famous, 1 minute, you're a nobody. You blend in the crowd. Next minute, everybody wants a piece of that. It's not you. It's what your aura does. Everyone has the illusion that they want to be famous and expect that they can handle all of that mob. When people come up to you. No, you see, if you were being famous because you want back and forth, I think it's a different reason. Again, I think it's a bit more, because you've got a message. Most music, if you say that, what did you do this for? Well, because I had a message. Do you see? That's powerful. That's being in control. That's being very aware of this situation here. Now, it's the same thing with religion, life after this. It should be called existence after this, but either or. It's very closely related to this. Let me give you another example then. So, someone who's famous, mobbed, can't go to a shopping mall without people knowing who they are and wanting something, autograph. Why? Because what can this do for me? It's also a bit like information as well. People say keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I say fuck that, and I'm going to keep none of you as close to me. Why? Because closeness all equals that people can gain information from you. Whilst it's going good, everybody's a hypocrite. We just have to square with that. We're hypocrite born. We have to be. It's encoded into us to be a hypocrite. Love the sun, love the summer, love the planet, and then the planet starts doing things that are in reverse of supporting life. Crops fail, the star begins to puff and pop out loads of toxicness towards your planet. Do you love the sun anymore? If the sun starts popping out, CMEs repeatedly, and it's starting to die, and it's starting to wind down this engine, will you love the star?
No.
Then it starts to burn the planet. No longer do you love the star, the sun.
No.
You'll say, Now, do you see why you have to be a hypocrite? Because if you sit there and go, oh my God, I love it. Let's cook in this. Barbecue human, anyone?
And then it cooks too much.
So when the fixtures give life, and it's for a time being, if you're not a hypocrite, do you see, there's a time and a place for it. You can't be hypocrite all the time, but it's there because it's a tool. Something knows better than you because you are a child that needs to have this stuff put into you, and then you need to be taught of when to use this stuff. Hypocrite is a good thing. Oh, I love the taste of this water until the water starts tasting bad. Oh, you don't like salt water, do you? But it's still water. Why don't you like it? Because it's been mixed with something else. And if you did like it, it'd kill you. So you have to. Oh, I like this water, but now we're putting in fussiness. Again, when we get back to computers, you have to program it. You don't want it just to do nothing. That's a blank template. That doesn't do anything. You have to give it an operating system. And then watch how it works with the operating system. And if this operating system doesn't work, you have to update it. What updates it? Remember, this force has been more in existence before you existed on the planet. It was teaching the universe. It was orchestrating other life forms. It's how many cycles have you been in? How many other life forms have made it? Gods. The Egyptians were very close. Very close indeed. Multiple gods. They understood it. That if they did good deeds, they become gods. Right? This is how it is. Idol, different things like that. Displaying a message. That's why fame is here. It's always been here. It's not about money. It's not about status. It's not about this. It's about a message. The old days, it used to be about message. It wasn't based on talent so much back then, but it was talented. I'm not knocking it. I love musicians. I love people that find fame in different things, but it's come a long way from what it used to be. So Yes, you've got some really important messages to deliver, and yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're doing more work for this than you care to imagine or realize. And just because we shut it out and we're non-believers or an atheist, it's still a belief. And just because you're not looking at it, it doesn't mean that it's not looking at you. It doesn't mean that because you've shut it out, I can't see it, it can't see me. No, it doesn't work like that. Even if you live your life where you don't look at it, do not study it, it's still got the overall responsibility of you. That's the thing. Now, it doesn't like to force or control, because if it did, it would show itself. But it does show itself, but in a very strange way, and there's a reason behind it. Life forms, at the end of the day, you are all being tested. How are you with these gifts that you have at 0.1%? You've got the very smallest amount of percent. Power that is given to new life forms, unlocked, becomes irresponsible. Even with a little, it becomes irresponsible. People use it to bad whims, and it's not good. It's really not good. And do you see that that's... There's freedom. There is. But there is also an iron fist there. So it's democratized, yes. It is freedom, yes. It is liberty, yes. But there are some things that are just locked into place that it can't let you have, although it wants you to have it. But you have to learn how to wield it correctly, because unleashed, all that potential, how will you use the power? And it can be used, and and we're not talking about a little bit of power. We're talking about a lot. Being able to conjure up things. I mean, you can make a nightmare. Heaven or hell. It's not a real thing, although it is, although it isn't. Problem is that if you give life forms an awful amount of power, can they create hell?
Yeah.
Let's say we unlock eternal life. That humans can become eternal, yes?
Yeah.
And let's say we gave this to the hunter-gatherers. What happens if they blow themselves up? That's eternal living.
Huh?
Didn't say that we were going to turn off the pain receptor. Didn't say that we were going to do this, and this. What happens if they break their back, fall out of a tree, break their back? That's eternity like that. Now, what would appear to be heaven now turns into hell. What happens if someone got this power and then decided to go and break the backs off every civil person on the planet? In order so that they could have the freedom, and these people would have to stay like that for eternity. Then, if food dies out, you will feel, never turned off the receptor, exactly as you are, but gave you eternal life. Do you see how it's irresponsible? It's like giving a toddler a knife. Do you understand? Can you appreciate that?
Yeah.
So as much as people may hate, there is an iron fist that prevents it. And it has to. Not because it wants to, but because it's for your protection. And everybody else's protection in that. Why have things become the way they have? That's a good question. That's a very good question. Because rather than dominating your reality, you rather dominate other people. That's a big difference here. This is a massive difference. So we're going to move on with this. We're going to move on. So let's say God, a member of the divine, and this has been proven, by the way. Each life form gets a test. Each of these things I'm talking about has already been done. Once it's already been done, there is a level of data that you learn from it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. So you want it to work. Understand that if you are a part of the divine, you want it to work. These are like your children at the end of the day. These are your creation. You always want your creations to work, right? But when you try and create something, you want it to work. What do you want it to do? You want it to benefit the lives of many people. It's no different to what you do when you look at it as creation. Doesn't matter what you're creating. Your creation and passion may lay in making a mobile phone, a computer, a decent bed for people to sleep in, a great house. You want it to work. Well, not everybody. Some people want it to break so that you buy more. Okay? And that, you got to come to your own decision in that, of whether that's something that you want. And like I say, just because you shut the blinkers doesn't mean that it's not looking at you. Because wouldn't it be nice if you could put blinkers on that type of a force? Wouldn't it be nice if you could blinker the force and rather than yourself? But that's a choice. Look, don't look. Doesn't mean it isn't looking at you. So God, member of the divine, a spirit, just appears here. And all of the elements around know who you are. All of it. Nothing touches you. You have a beautiful red and blue skin with lightning traversing through you, pulsating at different intensities. You look like lightning incarnate, with red and blue, slight white with the lightning, which then your aura gives off this purple hue around you, and it is massive. Interacts with the magnetosphere, the earth itself, everything. Water becomes still. That's power, right? The full power of it. Mm-hmm. Wings, one side as dark black as you've ever seen with the most brightest dots in it, and the other side as bright as you can ever see it with the most darkest. In each wing, the ability to fly, lift, move, go sideways, diagonally across any plane, be anywhere, transport you at any time, to any position, to anywhere. Problem is with it, it's a bit like idols being famous. And then, let's say if it was me, I just appear, all of this aura around me, and I walk among you. You'll know there's no threat. Once the fear washes off, it turns into fascination. You'll know that there's no fear. You might fire at me. You might fire all of what you've got at me, but it does not penetrate. Therefore, and then seeing no retaliation to it. To just stand there and take whatever you've got to throw. Swords, spears, sticks, anything you can think of. But it just does not hit. I walk among you. Fear turns into fascination. I want to meet every single one of you. In fact, wouldn't it be great that you could even stop the very clock? It wouldn't be, it would slow down your perception. Or, actually, it would slow down the existence of everything around you. The moon would slow, the planet wouldn't get light and dark as quickly. It would be very slow. You'd have to slow it down in order to be able to meet you all. Mm-hmm. Shake all of your hands, meet all of your leaders, meet every single one of your military, every person from poor to rich. Then I go around among you because it'll be the rich that will reach out first. That's what power does. And then I ask, what about your system then? And I'll walk around looking and nodding my head, and you'll tell me that this system works like this, 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 and this. And I'll see it. And you'll tell me how fair it is, how balanced it is. Ain't none of you got any idea how that works from the bottom because you've never felt it. And therefore, how can you know something if you've never experienced it and thus far you've never learnt from that experience? So how do you know what is good for someone at the bottom if you've never walked it? After all, aren't you supposed to walk the fire first and then take the exam at the end? That's inexperience.
Yeah. Inexperience, yeah.
So education means what?
You are first learning, aren't you?
So first you learn,
yeah,
and then you have to take an exam.
Yeah.
You're already taking an exam without ever walking the path. And then you might say, yes, but we will pull down. And this is the funniest thing, that when a presence like that shows itself, the leaders pull the chains on all of their structures. Yank the chains. This has happened time and time again. You'll be understand how it is. Because you're famous. Who want to be close to you? Why? Everyone cries tears of joy that there is something beyond. You know it. Why do you know it? You see it. Take a whole lot to undo a belief system like that. And what's amazing about it, but give a few thousand years later to 100 years, even 100 years is the maximum. 150 years later, beyond that point, no one believes it. People will twist it, rewrite it, believe they know. Or how about it's in times where they didn't write anything down. And you came. See, it's easier when you're less knowing. This is what kicks your asses into straightening up. The presence. And in that presence, there is a response, a hierarchy, accepted. Whoosh, everybody stands to attention. Soldiers will understand this. Even when they're out of camp, someone who's higher, you can tell rank by the way they walk into a room, and all the other soldiers, squaddies, even if they're in a pub, will sit up. You'll notice it. They will, even though they're at ease, they'll still straighten their posture. Won't make eye contact very regular. You are higher rank. They've just pulled invisible chains that have made everybody in the room sit to attention. Then it helps you understand who's a squaddie and who ain't in that situation. It's a similar thing. And then we see it in this. If you appear in your true form, no god is coming here. It's not going to happen. Because it defeats the object of making you walk blind. You have to walk blind. It's always got to be, is it or isn't it? You've got to be unsure. Why? Because if you know it, and you know it for a moral certainty, you do things, you change. But does that change last? Is that change coming from within you, or is it coming from the presence? And then you have to keep on. So you see it with police cars, yeah? Everyone is speeding down the road. As soon as a fucking cop car comes out, whoop, everybody fucking straightens their posture to slow it down. You see all the brake lights come on from behind. You know, cops, they could coordinate in a different way. At the same time as one is coming out and going to make themselves known, another one is following behind, and they'll see all of those brake lights lighten up. Just to give you an example, you'll see it yourself. Go in an unmarked car, and as you enter, coordinate it as the other one that then comes visible down the road, and then they'll see it. Because that's your presence. You don't often notice it's there. You know it's there, probably because you're told it's there, but to actually see it, everything straightens up. And then, when the cop car's out of view, no one's indicating, no one's looking at this. If there's a cop car present and you're ready to cross a road, people will stop and allow you to cross. When the cop car's not there, and they see you on the road, they're honking their horn or they accelerate. So when you go to cross a road, people are accelerating towards you, even if there are kids there. They accelerate as a way to make you run out of the way.
Yeah, I noticed.
Which is dangerous, because if you fall or your kid falls, that is not a part of the code. You see, in a crackdown on that wouldn't be amiss, but there you are. That's usually what people do, behaviour. But they never do it in front of a cop.
Exactly.
That's presence. So you understand it as a religious presence, or whatever you want to call it, the divine, call it whatever you want. It's fine for you to say what you want, okay? It doesn't really matter. So it's for you to figure out what label you want to give it. If you want to say atheist, and what will be, that's up to you.
Yeah.
That's also cool. Because each variable of you is a different operating system, and you don't even realize it, and which one holds the most restraint. So, if one of the divine comes down, it doesn't matter which one, all right? They're all equal as to one another, and they all have a place and have walked a path. And they appear, things straighten up. Things iron out. Things start to go for a little bit, and then what you notice is a dip. Then you show yourself again, pattern, dush, up you go. Everything straightens up, and then it dips, then it straightens, and then it dips. That defeats the object. And then you pass down stories to one another, and these stories, because it hasn't happened for such a long time, and it doesn't happen in this way now, is because it's defeating the object, it's making this pattern. And some people might be like trying to test the forces to see what would happen. So they push on it in order to get a reaction, in order to see if it's true. But the reaction is never what they think it's going to be. It's always different. So you then have these people that do reverse fame, right? Where they really dress themselves down and look homeless, and then go in the streets and someone offers them a sandwich or $1 or a pound or a euro or a yen, whatever it may be, ruble. And these people are famous, but they're in disguise. Isn't it amazing how you people do exactly the same as what is being done? That is a mirror image, but only in certain things. Only in certain constructs. Now, that's very interesting. So, let's do version 2. You have a collection of the divine that go, okay, maybe we should go there. Oh, we're like, yeah, all right, let's do this then. What are you going as? The pauper, okay? I'm going as the middle. All right, I might go as the top.
Mm-hmm.
To see it. Yeah. You experience it. Mm-hmm. How do you experience it? Well, you get some insight then, don't you?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just? And then you can see if you can reprogram. Reprogramming is done inside, but the difference with AI, it can also be done outside you. That's the beautiful thing. Can you imagine reprogramming a robot? But there again, it'd have to listen to you, but then it'd have to understand you, and then you need to tell it what you need. So if you tell the robot what you need, I don't have that program. Rather than I need to download it from somewhere because somebody else has made it, a person, it can go, I will make this program now. It's getting there, it's getting there. I think it might be on the verge of reaching that, not yet. And again, you've created something that you are, a mirror image of what you are. Isn't it interesting? And what is being done to you, you are doing in this. You've created a robot. What is it? Mirror image? Does it listen to you? It's your children, right? If a robot starts acting irresponsible, you're going to shut that shit down and you're going to reprogram it, which I like to call teaching.
Yeah.
So we understand that the teachings of God is this, this, and this, or the teachings of spirituality is this, this, and this. Yeah. But how do you document it without the biases in there? Do you let it go in its raw, authentic form, or do you manipulate it to set your agenda? Because that's not a divine will, that's your will. But yet, if something higher is trying to teach you, and you don't restructure your settings based on something that is higher, then that means that you know better than a force that is bigger, above, and has learned and got to the end of the finish line. Mm-hmm. Now, it hears you, it understands you, it listens. Yes, of course it does. But it also knows something that you don't. Mm-hmm. And then it's countless life forms that are coming together and have come together. You can believe that it's just a fluke and that you are just a planet and there's no other life forms out there because you don't see it. It doesn't interact with you. But fail to look on your own fucking planet. Your abundance in life. You were. Not so much now. And there are a few things that it knew you needed. Mm-hmm. Water. Yeah. Warmth. Light. Darkness. Not overly darkness. You're not experiencing true darkness. Magnetism. It understood to create something for you to live on out of junk. Mm-hmm. You would say Eden. Give it a meaning and this, that, and the other. Is it right to think that humans have this hypocritical nature for a reason? It's a tool to be used in the correct way. But yet you've also created this dismissive nature. Dismiss everything. Dismiss it. I need a proof. I need a proof. I need a proof. Prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it. That's like asking water to prove it's water. Can you prove it? Well, I don't believe you. How are you water? But you look like water. You touch it, feel it, drink it. Prove you're water. Prove you're a fucking magnetic field. Prove you are a star. Prove you're a black hole. Or because it's already there. Seems to be proof in the pudding. But is it what you say it is? It didn't prove itself. It just stood there. Its presence did. Yeah, interesting. But dismissive. Be like dismissing the sun. It'd be like dismissing your existence. Oh, wait, you do. Yeah. You do. So it gave you some constructs, right? Water, food, heat, cooling. It gave you a plane to walk on and to understand it. It gave you hands, fingers. It gave you the ability to dig up a tree, move it and bury it, and help it grow. It gave you the knowledge to understand what that tree needs. It gave you the knowledge to understand what animals need. It gave you the knowledge to understand what everybody needs. Needs. What are the needs? They're simple, aren't they? Heating, cooling, light, darkness. You also need to rest. Something programmed you with this. There's something be whatever you want to label it as. But they knew this before you existed. And before you even were made up of, I don't know, different junk. it knew that it had to make the junk give you an arena to operate on.
Mm-hmm.
Everything seems to be working in harmony with each other, even your body and the atoms itself. What's telling them to operate that way? I mean, the heart doesn't argue with the brain, and the brain doesn't argue with the heart. Even in death, when one gives out, the rest in solidarity shut down. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
No, I'm stronger than you. I can keep going. The brain's like, yeah, but we're all going fuck up here. Something's not working. It's all out of an alignment. Again, your body's just a tool. Don't worry about it. It's an amazing thing. And when you walk past the cemetery and someone's been laying there for 300 years, but they lived for 79 years. They spent 79 years, and probably, I don't know, let's say 50 of those years, they felt in the balance of being able to do things. But their bones, their body, their shell has been laying there for more years than their... Yeah. And the more older they are, the more... You want to take the Egyptians? That's if someone didn't find that it was a temple and wanted to change the narrative of what it was. As opposed to a place of worship, they then went and shoved in one leader who said, I want that as a tomb. Let's rewrite the narrative.
Yeah. Someone used the
structure to, and it might be a lot older than what the Egyptians could have found it.
Kind of decided to own it, in a way. Yeah.
And then change the meaning of it.
Yeah.
And again, so still, if you want to put that down to Egyptians, fine. It's easy for me to label it that way because that's what you know it as. Whether it is, whether it isn't.
That makes more sense to have structure and decide, oh, I want to lay there because it's a big one. I'm biggest one here in this whole empire, and I'm the most important.
It would be like now, let's fast forward from now, all humans disappear for some reason, and there's a small pocket that then begin to expand again. The ruins of the houses will not last. They will all be brought down pretty quickly. But the churches, man, they'll probably last. And you come across something like the Abbey. And there won't be many, because the rest have been built probably not so good, and they'll crumble down. But this one, depending on how well it's maintained. Well, you might be tempted to find that.
Yeah.
Chisel out all the other graves that are in there. Find some writing that you don't know what it is. Yeah, what the hell is all this shit in here? The language is now gone. It's best guess.
Yeah.
This pocket expanded and the languages again were retaught. There's nothing quite like non-existence from an empire, isn't there?
Yeah.
They all can mean nothing in a blink of an eye. How people can move away from it and no one knows what it is.
Yeah.
And then you have to rely on best guess. But even still, and then this particular group that clops together, someone of importance finds it, hides it from everybody else. This discovery that's kept on the hush, keep people away from it. And then when they die, they get put into that. And then it becomes a monument that they built.
Yeah, they just hire people to make some traps, so it's harder to get in, which obviously doesn't work probably over a long period of time. But at that time when they are buried in something that was not theirs, they will invent some trapdoors in there or something, add some little bit more to structure.
Well, honestly, I think that the pyramids is something completely different to what you think it is. Like, yeah. So let's do this, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't see. Yeah, I see some.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a star. And then the inner versus the outer, which you could say Union Jack, the flag. Whoopsie! But yeah, so the ramps that they talk about that are no longer there, but you can see the evidence of the ramps. I think these, these are these were meant to be there, but I think they got knocked down deliberately. I think they've been knocked
over a long
down.
time. Yeah.
So I think if you draw it a bit more like this, yeah. And this is our flag, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does it go this way? Does it have another one this way?
Oh,
I think it's a bit more like that. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then do this.
Mhm.
Now, you know that the center of each of the pyramid has a line through it, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
it could be more
divided
like this.
into two. So yeah. Yeah, what you count on is that people won't remember after some time, will they? People will die, and then maybe the ones that were children will say, "Oh, there was something there," and then they will die, and then later and later, "Oh, my great grandparents said that it looked different," but no one
In the
remembers
playground,
anymore. Yeah,
in the playground, everyone plays
yeah,
this game called Chinese Whispers, yeah?
yeah.
So the center structure, it's a star.
Hmm.
And with the ramps put in, you have a star.
Yeah.
The star people, again, which fits the knowledge of the people back then, the ancients, which would then be the Mayans. These are all star people.
Yeah. They go up when they go
They
to their
look
structure.
up
Yeah.
because of the information that they knew. And then you've got to understand what drove people to do that. And back in the time, we go from Mayan temples. I think it was the Mayans, wasn't it? That were the star.
Yeah, I
The
think it was
calendar,
Mayans, yeah, that built the
Which the
sort of.
calendar is a frequency chart. Well, I recognize this, and it's a frequency where you put all life forms, where you alter the frequency that goes within them
Yeah.
of what they're going to do. Remember, a planet is complex. You need things in it
Yeah.
in order to sustain intelligent life forms. You need flies, you need worms, you need... It does not work with just singular life forms. It doesn't work. It falls down.
Yeah.
Trial and error will teach you this, that when you go to build your... So you see, the Earth was built by you. It wasn't built by one. It was built by many individuals. There's a lot of brains get behind that to build a platform for you to be on of different life forms. And it's an Eden. It's been created. And again, the planet has reached a frequency. It's been attuned, along with the star has been attuned, and other star systems have been attuned. Think of it as the calendar. Each one of these rotated, so when you separate all of the cogs,
Yeah.
and you rotate one slightly, another one slightly, another one slightly, another one slightly, another one slightly, and the middle piece slightly, and put it together,
Okay.
you then have an overall frequency, an expected outcome. It's a bit like a computer, the Aztecs. The Aztecs set about to try and recreate this in a very strange way, using pieces of wood. And the first computer was made from wood. It wasn't even a computer, it was more like clockwork. More advanced, the wood age was quite advanced. And you see each age teaches the other. So we was talking about this, the M ratio yesterday, yeah?
Uh-huh.
The M. Or the cat's head. Again, falls into Egyptians. They knew a lot more than you know today. And they were much more able to be taught. They were receptive to it. They were open to it. Massive events happened as well that caused them to look up. These events were deliberate. But they excelled fast. That's the difference. They moved quickly. And then they slowed down. That's the disadvantage to it. That they showed that they were highly capable. It expanded fast. People were coming together to help build these monuments.
Yeah.
It moved quickly. This is very intelligent stuff. These look like places of worship. Yeah, it's a sort of... that's another thing. So if God appears... one of the divine come, which would be a god, label it what you want, I'm just going to label it how it's comfortable for me, appeared. What's the first thing you think humans will do? They'll become so excited, after the fear, after the attack moment,
Won't they divide into two groups?
they don't divide into two groups, no.
Then
They
they are-
worship you.
All of them? Believers, non-believers? Aren't there those that will
Let me give you
try
an
to
example. If I
claim
walk
you
out
are
on
not?
stage and I was famous and I say, everyone put your motherfucking hands in the air, what does everybody do?
They do that?
They put their hands in the air.
those
Anyone
who
got
come-
lighters on them? You spark your lighter and... That's right, now you're a Statue of Liberty, which I think is symbolic, but still. I like the Statue of Liberty, by the way. I'm still not sure of its colour. Every time I look at it, it's a different colour. It's interesting, I like that. It almost seems like
I think
what
it's
we are.
deliberate as well.
Yeah, there's codes in that.
Yeah, depending on the light that falls on
It's
it.
really
as well.
intelligent. That is.
Yeah.
Is it from France? A gift from France?
Yeah.
That would explain it. And it's beautiful. There's a lot of other things that are beautiful. So you understand it then if the first thing that happens when a god appears is the fear. The second after that becomes the awe, because there's nothing to fear if it doesn't retaliate to anything.
Yeah.
So it takes a barrage, always, bow and arrows, whatever it may have been, stick individuals, and then when they figure out that it's not working, there's no need to continue, to continually attack, yes? And then you understand their language, different things like this, yes, blah, 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 blah. What do you think is the next best thing? It's a talking that resonates inside the mind as well as the ears. They don't actually hear you with words, they're hearing you internally. That's the thing. That's powerful, like someone's just spoken to a megaphone that goes into all the minds. It's a dual thing. And it because of it carries such a frequency to it, it causes a sort of euphoric feeling. Is the only way I can explain it. They want to build you shit. First they want to show you everything, and then they want to build you something. A monument. And it makes people come together at a rapid ratio and try and offer things, and then it disappears. But it states to all of them that I shall return. But it doesn't say I, it says we shall return. It's more understood as we. Because the very thing that happened was unity. Do you see how the sort of echo bounces off? So big monuments get built, people come together, and there is a hell of a lot of potential to see. You see it when you're present, but you don't if you're not. The problem is that it's about, if you're going to go somewhere and you're going to join a group, then they expect you to operate with that power in a right way, not to enslave. And then that's knowing. So this process here, yes, the M ratio or the cat, the you see at the moment, you are forward motion because you perceive it to be, but you are going backwards in a forward trajectory. So you think about it, everything that you do now is based on your past. And it's based on your past being overall the whole of humanity's past. Everything you do now is all because of the past. So the past has pushed over things and pushed over things and pushed over things. It's like the dolphins that blow the bubble and move it with their nose and then let it go, and it starts to rotate this bubble, and then another one grabs it and throws it, and another one grabs it and throws it, and then the young'uns. They do it in age order, usually. It's in age order. They fuck about with this bubble and try and keep it down as long as possible by using the medium that they're in. Dolphins are very fascinating creatures, to be honest. They're very, very fascinating. Intelligent is not the word for it. Unlock them and they've got some a lot of potential in them. It's stored. Lots of life forms have this, but more so, some have it more than others. The dolphin, which it's symbolic. It's in you. You can make a lot of shapes, meaning stuff. This is symbolic. That's why your hands are able to do it. Helps you to look. So at the moment, life is going one way versus the other, right? So it's absolutely beautiful, right? So we were talking yesterday that your mum taught you. You taught nephew. Nephew teaches kid. Not only that, mum teaches you, mum teaches sister, or brother, or whatever else it is. And based on that information, and dad as well, yes, don't get me wrong, dad, a certain amount of knowledge, because we've got the male M and we've got the female. It goes down into singular, hermaphrodite. Whatever you believe, believe what you want, it doesn't matter. The truth will be known one day. And once this knowledge is past, and this is how you get to future, yes? So, past to future.
Yeah.
Then once you've got to a certain level, and you've transcended a very long way, and you've gone and you've gone and you've gone and you've evolved, and before this long time, before anyone is even here anymore, is no more existing in the way that you understand living, then the tools were used, and you make it to your future, and you're collected. Let's say what you understood here,
Yeah.
in the periodic table, is one piece of a puzzle. It's a good fucking puzzle, by the way, and you're limited to what you know about your star.
Yeah.
And about where your star's going. You can look at other stars and only guess, and maybe you can make elements from that understanding.
Yeah.
But you're limited because the programming or the operating system is limited to what is known. And until more data comes in, meaning other elements that you've never seen before, you'll then realize the periodic table, I wouldn't say is incorrect. I would say that it's a good start.
Yeah.
And that's what I should be a bit more gentle on my words, but it's a good start, and it's amazing. Yes, don't ever underestimate how good it is, but it's not everything. And then you go across another star system and find out that it's got its own periodic table. This then becomes intelligent. One is to think, we actually thought this was everything, and then saying, it's just a star. Then you learn another star system.
Yeah.
And then in first cycle, if you keep going, plus passing this information, you see? So what your mom and dad understood, and the future is going to understand something completely different. But it would have taken that bubble to have pushed to here. Then you have to accept that you were wrong. And then you have to become a hypocrite to it. Because if you stay on that, no, I am right. No, this is correct. No. Do you see how hypocrite doesn't work now?
Yeah.
That becomes this very short cycle. This is why it's in you. A lot of reasons as to why it's in you. Number one, it's designed for your ultimate safety. Is there free choice in that? Not sure. Yeah, because I don't think so. Because you've got to look at how many other people would want that.
Yeah.
If there's a small number of people versus a large number of people, we could draw a snowman or a figure of 8. Doesn't really matter. If you've only got 5% that want to hold on to it, and you've got 95% that wouldn't, then in a true democracy, who wins? 95%. So you'd have to convince everyone to believe something. Although believing and knowing and feeling are multiple different things. That's the trio factor. So what comes in from outside, and again, it's a tool for this information to come in, just like you tell a computer you need something programming. Do you see how this can be manipulated to affect the information that comes into you? And then that tool that is supposed to help you is now being abused to diminish you. And it doesn't diminish you, it diminishes everything. And that is not just everything being humans, because that's superiority. That's animals, that's nature, that's the water, and that's the whole gift. And that is also the past. It diminishes all of their efforts in the past.
Yeah.
That could never be accepted in a ever. No, that goes against code. A code of life, not God's code, not the divine's code. No, the code of your life, your existence. When you get these things and manipulate them, that is not acceptable. And it will never be acceptable, because these tools are designed to help you. And then if they get manipulated in this way, that is not acceptable. So when life begins to evolve and they understand that there's another star system equals another periodic table, that means more information. And what does this information do? It updates you. It reprograms you. So what you thought and what you were capable of was trapped in this paradigm moment, yes?
Yeah.
Then you expand, and now capabilities are now twice. And again, this then makes you more hungrier to get to as many stars as you possibly can. But again, it's easy to calculate that you couldn't traverse the whole universe in one cycle. So you have to keep going. You think life is tough. It's actually quite fun, and it has rewards along the way. It unlocks more because you are unlocking more data is able to come in. Then, what are you able to do with this data? What can you create with this data? That's the next question. Do you see? Then the stage opens up, and what you thought was talent becomes added, multiplied. You add more to the talent ratio. Life expectancy, it becomes more. The universe, after all, is Pandora's box. Only if you want it. But then you come to a level where it's percentages versus masses of percentages that if you're misguided, misrepresented, then that is not divine work. That is whatever you call it, light, divine, collected, you call it, label it whatever you want, the guiding force, whatever, it doesn't matter what it's labeled. All things are reaching the same point of origin, no matter what you call it, and it's okay to call it anything you want. That is perfectly acceptable. It doesn't matter, because that's the beauty of the star, right?
Yes.
It can be called as many things as you want it to. Anything. Whatever helps you get going, whatever gives you that faith, whatever gives you that key to excel more than what you are. And remember, you're not doing it for all of the people that are living now, you're doing it for all of the past. That's a lot of humans. That's a lot. That's a lot. You think that what? Let's say there's 8 billion people on the planet, let's say, give or take 9 billion, whatever it may be, close to 9, more so to 8, whatever. You think that's a large number. How many humans have risen over the whole of your existence? That's a better question. Because these are the people you're doing it for. Now do you see how a larger amount are relying on you, the smaller amount, to keep going? They don't want you to fail. And then you are going to be relying on the future to do it. How do they resurrect you if they don't make it?
They will.
Now another tool is becoming aware. Now the scales are beginning to tip. Why? What happens if you set the stage how it is now, and it all fucks up because of those wheels in motion that you set, and it all fizzles out into nothing? Do you see how tools can be abused, but there's always contingency plans on top of it? You don't make it, you don't get it.
It cannot
And
rely
then you can
on
cherry pick from what is...
for just one entity, can you?
Again, believe whatever you want to believe.
Yeah.
Believe what you want. That's fine. Everybody's fine to do so. If you think that you were put here and your spirit was put into your body and it's going to be collected at the end, nope. You have to make the journey. Not saying that everybody is not going to be picked, because I think cherry picking. You know, when you're at a tree and you're like, what one do I want to eat? Ooh, that one's too sweet. Oh, that one's way too sour. Oh, that's just right. That is, Now, what size is that one? What shape? Did I put any green on myself? Did I?
No.
That's good, because I kind of put green on myself.
Yes, not on your face.
That's good, because I'm going to itch that. But even still, so, and then the past is going to rely on the future, and the future is going to rely on the past, right? But you are going to become the past.
Yeah.
Well, unless you make eternal life, which I'm pretty sure it's close to being possible in multiple formats, but should it be allowed? There's a difference. Will it work, or will it go against you? Because the hands that govern us all, guide us, teach us. And then this mechanism goes back. Oh, imagine that. You've got to teach backwards. What is known back then is a hell of a step till now. And now what happens if you teleport someone from there to here? Even if you could master a way of educating the person, do you think they'll be fearful? Well, you're going to look fucking alien to them.
Yeah.
You're going to speak alien to them.
Yeah.
All of this stuff around is going to be very scary for them.
Yeah.
Don't you understand
I
that? That would be quite the thing.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was you.
Yeah.
You're everyday.
Yeah. The further in the past
Digging
you go
through
to
your
pick
fur.
it's different, isn't it?
Your hair then. Digging through, sort of looking around. Maybe bouncing about like a monkey. Swinging through trees like Tarzan.
Yeah.
Maybe a little reptilian type thing. And then something brings you to now. But okay, let's say it another way. What happens if something takes you now and moves you into the future? Would you be able to handle it? Because you're away from all your comforts. You're away from everything you know.
And everything is different.
And then you would have to believe that these people around you are like, look, I'm your future you. Wait, what? Hold on now. I'm not sure you even look like my family lineage. Trust me, you had this kid that went on to this kid and that kid and this kid.
Yeah.
So you're a god then? No.
No, I'm your family.
I'm your
You're
family from the future.
distant.
What the fuck is that shit?
Yeah.
Man, your brain would shit itself, and then you'd come back, and then there's the two beliefs, right? The one of the disbelief of the one coming to this time, and then you go back and say, I saw this, I saw that, I saw this. That motherfucker is mad. Labeled, because it makes you feel better, because you don't want to get scared, so you've got to label it and then bury it away somewhere, right? So the easiest way around that is to teach backwards. So now you're going forwards, the past teaches the future.
Yeah.
And it continues to develop,
Yeah.
develop, and it's steady. And then a divine hand can put into that without it being too fearful for you. Yes?
Yeah.
Give this to hunter-gatherers and, man, they're going to shit themselves. It's too much, too quick. They just cannot handle it.
Yeah.
New life forms, yes? So you slip it in there as they're evolving.
Yeah.
And then they reach a point where they're at now. And then let's say they push through all the barriers. You don't need to get all of the information because you can always be learned it, but still you need to get to a level of unlocking and capability and acceptance, and it resonates from you. When you align, like the calendar, when it all locks together,
Yeah.
if you call it a calendar, there's a frequency that you emanate. It's the I'm ready as all together. We've got it. We're all together, and you are releasing this musk from you, this smell, this stench, this aura, this enlightenment, this buzz that is registered, and it drives the fucking system off the fucking charts. When you activate and you get it, internally get it, you can't fake it. You produce this aura to you. It means that is the signal. I am ready, but it's not I. It's we are ready. We've understood things. We've got there. We've locked these into place. You program in such a way that's eureka. You understand things on a very large scale. And when you do, and it's authentic and it came from you, you unlock it. That is when you're ready. You don't need to traverse all of this. This can be taught, and because you have come a long way to melt a lot of this stuff. You've understood a lot of stuff. You are trustworthy with it. And trustworthy is not what you do, it's what you do with your actions together. If you can't get it here, you never will. Then you are the wrong frequency for that. It won't let you in. You won't, you don't resonate at the right frequency to get there. And it has to be authentic. But it has to be all of you. And then, when you get it, you can now teach it. But to who? Well, the past. Backwards. The same way they gave it to you. Bubble after bubble after bubble after bubble after bubble. Let go of a few things that's no longer believed. This is now believed, but this worked. Okay, metal working. You didn't create metal era. It was your ancestors that did it. You didn't find out about copper. Your ancestors did it. You just hold on to it.
Yeah.
They were the ones that did it. They were the ones that explored it. What have you done? Held on to it and just shaped it. They discovered it. They found it. They created it. They unearthed it. They played around with it. If they didn't do it, you wouldn't have it. Yeah. Now you just copy and paste what's already been done. That's not discovering. That's why you need lots of you. Yeah. Getting out there is what it is. Finding things, discovering things, bringing things back. You will naturally fall into sync, alignment. Oh man, the best gift ever, the wish that everybody aligns together. That is so powerful. Yeah. Individually, God, it's so boring. It's so lonely. Everybody aligns together. That's what it should be about. And then this frequency, boom, then life really starts. It's not about anybody above the rest. It's about what you do as a group, a humanity. Do it for them. Do it for your kids. Do it for the future. Do it for yourself. See? Yeah, man, and even if the past were to come back, you can teach it backwards. They already got the concept. Yeah. Then you pass it backwards the same way as one comes up, teach. Another one comes up. You'll unify until they get it. They'll get it. It'll click. Oh, it's amazing. Then it's real on. Then more gifts are unlocked. Pandora's box opens. And then think about what you can learn from others that traversed. You don't even ever need to do it. You can incorporate this and think. You think that's in your nature. Get things wrong? That's how it is. And then, even still, it's going to be a long journey, I think, but let's just say. And then you'll be able to get this clicking motion. And you begin to build and build and build and expand. You are going to build your own Eden. But did the creators of this go, I don't like that person that wears glasses because they wear glasses. I don't like this person because they smell. I don't like this person because of the way they look. Yeah. I don't like this person because of the way they talk. I don't like this person because of the way they speak. I don't like this person because of the thoughts they have. So, no, they don't come. It's just us. We're going to go. That doesn't unlock nothing. That is the opposite to what you are. That is the opposite to what everything is trying to achieve. That is the very definition of evil. That's when you lean too far into one, you've shut down your humanity. You know, the constructs that we're given. Water. Iron fist, it's needed. This stuff is needed. You can't fucking privatize this shit. Housing. It's needed. You were housed on an earth. You were given water on the earth. You were given food. These things have something very much in common, that these things were given. Yeah. When supported in this structure, this is what opened the door for knowledge to be learned. It's not all under control restraint as people depict it to be. No. The more they supported people, can you believe that in your whole empires that you've been told that not one empire ever unlocked it for everybody and said, I'll support you, what can you do? They experimented. What did they come back with? I found this. Can you get more? That was order. Yeah. Organization by supporting the very constructs that support you, your life support system. That is godly. That is divinely. That is interesting. The others has done it too. Yes, yes, yes. You mean to tell me that in your whole empire it's always been this way? Every single one has been the exact same as the other? No, they were supporting you. Which then led them to hold the structure. That's where their importance was. They like holding their structure shit together. Then do it. And then it unlocks other people to go off and get things. Brings things back. Is this worthy of the structure? Well, we don't know what that is. We'll have some more of that. Is there much more there? Yeah, there is. Okay. Then you begin to organize the planets, the moons. Think about it. You organize it. What's this stuff? Found it over there. Remove it. Store it. You're going to need that at a later date. Just because you don't know what to do with it or what it is right now. Someone is going to work that out. I'd rather have that right beside me rather than wait and be like, oh shit, it's over there. And then something happens here. That's taken it for granted that this star system is going to last forever. And it isn't. Take a look at Beetlejuice, because that's a very big clue. What, apparently that was seen when the dinosaurs were on the Earth, that popped off its nebula, and it's almost shitting itself now. But that's the same type of star as ours. Hold on a second, did you just say a conspiracy theory with inside your theory?
How do they know it when it's so far that it's the same?
Because you can smell it.
For me, it's a dot like all the others. How do you know which dot is similar to different dot and or
technology. It's evolved.
Yeah, but I don't know. We are so often wrong later on.
Yes, that's why we say we think.
Yeah.
We believe. But then when papers and news articles get hold of it, and the news,
they will remove.
They are certain.
Yeah, they will remove think and believe. Yeah, yeah. Scientists found this. Scientists are saying this.
And this is the oldest form that there is.
Yeah.
That's not science.
No. Science.
Credit to the scientists, I believe.
Science never stops. It continues, doesn't it? Goes on, and it says, at this moment, it is the oldest we know.
To date.
To date.
What we
Today,
found.
at this, up to now.
You know what? On that theory, that one theory that scientist creates, did you know he could fill it up with all of the things as to why it's... You can back the evidence as to why he come to that conclusion of we think. You can write another theory on the we think part.
Yeah.
Why do I say we think? Next theory, next thesis.
Yeah.
Because we've only dug up 0.1% of the planet.
Yeah.
Everything else is surrounded in concrete. The rest of it is too deep that we can't get down to because of this, this, and this. And it makes one hell of an interesting read. One is the theory. Groundbreaking. Shattering, shakes the ground beneath your feet. Isn't it beautiful? However, bones are limited to decay ratio. They do break down after time, and especially on a planet that's subject to this force, that force, this force. And it makes a very interesting read, and that is then when you have science that is fully aware that it is ever-changing, hence why it's called science. But putting this into practice, which then... Fucking hell, if this scientist were to make one article and sell it for $1.99 for you to read it, plus the second bit for $1.99, that's a lot of cash to be realistic in a way. Do you get what I mean? That's the sort of, but no, it goes into the news and the media, then sort of a matter of fact. This is absolute.
Yeah.
Speak with authority.
Yeah, read article from journalists and you will be like, oh.
I don't need a journalist to explain what a scientist just said. I want the scientist. That's like fucking someone else. Oh, can we borrow one of your books, Stephen King? Yeah? Can I make a movie out of it? I write the fucking screenplay.
Yeah.
Oh, but we was thinking about giving it to someone else to write the screenplay. We was going to give it to the news. They'll write it. They're a bit more matter of fact. I think he says it, doesn't he? If someone's going to mangle my book, it might as well be me.
Yeah.
Touché. But yeah, so it would be like Stephen King writing a book and somebody else writing a book about Stephen King's book.
Which people do.
Well, explaining the book.
Yeah. Some people do that.
Have you read Stephen King's book? Yeah, I read this article about it.
But you don't know those people, do you? You might bump into some of their books about other people who wrote this book and that book and not just Stephen King.
Yeah.
But you don't know those people. You just bump into that, maybe open one page, look at it, and you are like, okay.
So yeah, I have this thing with idols.
Yeah.
Idols have the same... That same transition, isn't it? Eerie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very interesting thing. Always get famous for the right reasons, I think. You got to be mentally strong, I think. Quite have a good reason as to why you're going to do it. If life was already lonely, it's going to be no contrast. It's going to be a contrast, but in the reverse of a contrast. If it was already lonely and no one gave a shit about you before, and then all of a sudden people are pretending to give a shit about you, I think knowing that is a difference compared to, and everyone's like, well... I'm not doing it for that reason. and then you do something that is assholeless, and they're supporting you still. They're not saying, look at this cunt, they're saying, look at this beautiful person here. Oh, no, come on. You pull your tongue out my ass? Why? Well, because I thought about farting. Anyways, I'll stick it, whatever. Not saying that everybody's like, yeah, I'm not, but, and there are a few genuine people within that, don't get me wrong. I do believe that there is. But again, even if somebody who's famous that goes through that and then looks back and thinks about how horrible that is, then I would look at myself if I was like 40, 50, whatever, halfway through your life expectancy, whatever, maybe, whatever. Man, one transition was all of that loneliness and no one give a shit, misfit and outcast and all the rest of it. And then all of a sudden you're famous and surrounded by people. And you might not like it, but there again, isn't it a chance to look at yourself? How were you when you were nobody? Did you look at famous people the same way? That's the question. Because even if it were from someone from the divine that looks at that, they then look at their own path. Because they've got a story. They've walked a path. They didn't just get there for... They made the same mistakes you did. They learned the same way you did. Not identical, but their own version of it. Do you understand? Their own story, their own background.
Yes, I do understand that.
And I guess it's got to be a sobering experience. And that they've come a long way, and then they talk from experience, and then this, and this. I think it's more that way as opposed to, you got some money. You give me some money, and I'll tell you all of the secrets that you need to know. Right? Yeah, somewhere along the line I understand that, but making these features such as water be so expensive that people can't afford it, that is something. The planet didn't make it
for you to pay. Planet didn't make it, so you had to pay for water, and you had
thirsty.
And you had to pay for shelter, and you had to pay for going somewhere, and you had to pay I don't know what else.
Every time you drink that water to quench your thirst, because I'm God, I'm going to shave off your life expectancy by about 10 years. Man, what the fuck? You created it like this. I know. I know. Lick my feet. And then I'll let you drink the water. Give me something. Which there is a return on this. Join us. The difference. Excel. And these things that can support you, which is very godly in a way, understand this. That all of those constructs, water, heat, fire, you name it, whatever it is, nature, the antidepressant of everything, animals, these are all supporting you freely, supporting you, so that you can get on with discovery, with understanding who you are, what you are, where you come from, where you're heading. Then if you took this, we call it life support system, let's label it that way, and you lift this up, and you can make it survive out there. And you could take this with you. What else could you do?
Yeah, but you have to behave to it, which we don't do right now, do we, on this planet either?
Well, at the end of the day, it's nature. It tends to look after itself. Animals, they tend to look after themselves. They've been programmed pretty well to operate with their operating system to usually take care of themselves. They just need their needs, but other than that, they take care of the gases that they exchange. They tend to take care of themselves if you give them the structure that they need. And then you support them, which is freely because it comes from the sun, but it doesn't last forever. Your version can. It's temporary. Not because you have to stay here and die temporarily. No. It's to help you see with the hypocrite in you, and forward-thinking hypocrite. I love you, star. I love the summer. Everyone loves the summer until it gets too hot. Everyone loves the winter until it gets too cold. And it's sort of like, fucking I thought you said you loved it. I do love it. Right, Joe?
But it's minus 50 now.
No, it's not like minus 50. It's now plus 50. Now I have a fucking limit. Jesus Christ. And we can whinge about it, or you could build your own. Your own Gaia.
Yeah. Genesis.
Damn these fucking floods. These fucking fires, man. Because the fucking sun keeps getting so hot. I mean, this is just generally what people think about, isn't it? They say it, they think it, deep down, perhaps not with the rhetoric, but I don't know. I think we do. We say more when we've got the freedom to do so, as opposed to being suppressed out here because of consequence. But there is no consequence in the mind. And you say these things inwardly, outwardly, in jest, in passing.
Yeah.
Because you feel like it's out of your control. But it isn't. And what's an education supposed to be about, really? Oh, do you reckon you kids could create this? That's slavery. Says you? Please. Please. Would you kids like to make a farm? Yes, please. Would you like to make a habitat that could possibly go to space? You, as a kid, your kid in you, just jumping for joy at that, doesn't it? And then you sort of suppress it down. That's not the real world. My bet is that the kids with lacking of self-limiting belief. Thanks, Tim, because you're so right that they could do it.
Yeah.
They believe so hard in it.
Yeah.
But that's slavery. Well, what is this shit? Seems like a waste of time to me. Here, Divine, guess what I learned? What was that? 2 at 2. Well done, you know how to calculate. Now take a look at this computer here.
Now use it for something.
Yeah.
Count your sheep. Make a farm. Make 2 and 2 farms or something. Yeah. Do something with it.
But 2 and 2 what? Well, it's just quantum. 2 and 2 lumps of quantum equal quantum. 2 lumps of quantum versus 2 lumps of reality. Outcome was... Well, look, I got fucking A's. Whilst the whole of the world and everything else is dying around you.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something about this that I think just stirs people in the wrong way, and I think it creates mental health as well, largely, a lot of it. Proof's in the pudding though, right? Got to put it to the test and find out whether it changes people. For them to start building towards... We've got no school out there at all for the kids. 15 years of their life to 18 years of their life, and what do they get to achieve for it? A piece of fucking paper. With, yes, you can jump through a hoop. Or 15 to 18 years worth of their life where they have put the first fucking modules that are self-fulfilling prophecies out into space. Self-limiting belief, gone. Firm mental structure. They know they're capable. Why? Because they just fucking proved it. That is a gift that you can set life forms up with. That every time they have a bad moment, a blip in something, something's not working out right, they know in the moral certainty that they can make things happen. Whether they ever dip down is another question. Entirely. They're even having their hands in it. I built that farm, I did. You fucking did. Ah. Proud, Divine. I fucking stand in solidarity of that. Because that is a ripple effect that if you put this into a supercomputer, you can already see it. Imagine every school that was capable of building their own space program. I know it sounds extreme, right? It really does, but fuck it, whatever. We're beyond extreme. And they're able to send up modules, self-contained systems, round the moon, whatever, landed on the moon, put it over at Mars. With all of that food that then takes off. Yeah. And starts to grow. They're then responsible for the expansion of humanity. Not contraction, expansion of it. Because they did that one little step, Neil Armstrong, small step, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That is a small step. That must tell you that it's possible to reach something. It's a small step. Next step, modules. Next step, breathable atmospheres. Next step, more humans. Next step, you're then discovering resources that you didn't know, that you just had to look up and guess and wonder about. Taking a few grains of something is not enough to know what is made up of the moon, Mars, and everywhere else, and bringing it on. These modules work as a double layer. That's the next bit. And then you start making factories that support this. These modules are already self-contained systems, self-fulfilling. Water, anything else? That means that they can be lifted off of these low gravity areas and put into space and click together. They've got to be built with a mindset that knows how to clop these together. Because if push comes to shitty shove and that star starts to bark, we probably want to be getting out of the way. If not, extinction. Animals, first farm, first this, first that. Not only are you learning about the environment, but nature begins to learn how to adapt to that environment, because it's not just humans that need to learn that. It's your life forms. That's why you're given fingers. That's why you're given thoughts. That's why you're given the capability to do it. You have been given it. This is the gift. What do you do with the gift? How do you respond with that gift? Do we carry on responding this way, or is it all control and salute and bow and fucking nod and jog and jump and skip and all the other things that we class as a normal life? Or do we look at it and go, we're going to make a change? It's not going to be easy, but does it matter? It's got to be a lot better than what's already current. Is it about money, or is it about safeguarding all of us? Take the advice from idols, right?
Yeah.
Do they feel isolated, alone? In fame, do they feel alone?
Yeah.
And it's quite detrimental. It rises, some cases, suicide. It leads to intoxication, and it does, if we're honest.
Yeah.
You really think that the 1% are going to leave in space? And they're going to have the mental fortitude to combat that? You see, that's the next bit. You really think you're going to have that ability to override all of that?
No. They are unable even to work, 1% of people, certain people.
And you think you're going to get it from robotics? Sure, robots help.
Yeah. Until they don't have program for it. And some people are unable to show them what they want. So.
I think it becomes tragic when the inner world is more touching and protecting from an outer reality. And the outer reality was meant to be more than the inner. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be the is it or isn't it? That unknowing. How do you respond when you've just got very little? Very little amount of power. What do you do with it? Are you responsible to have more power, or should it be diminished? That's a question. And sure, they'll say, well, people don't know what's good for them. You teach people. You teach people. Don't force it. Don't need to. Just put it out there as gently as possible. Look, this current thing or this new thing. And it shouldn't be classed as new, natural. To utilize the tools that you've got. And yeah, there's going to be a split. Some people are going to be, I don't know if I'm ready for that. That's cool. That's all right. It only takes one to start, then another to start, then another to start, and another and another. If you can train people to lay down their life for battle, then you can train people to lay down their lives for a purpose that supports more life. You see, that's the possibility there. That's right in front of you, that you can be educated to do this. The military are already halfway there anyway. The thing is, you want to do it so that there is no casualties, but realistically, there may be some. No different to there are casualties on the earth every day. Car accident, work accident, housing accident, up pavement accident. It's no different. And that should never be a reason as to why it should be shut down. And then there's safety. You don't want things coming back into the earth. You're going to need more people to protect this stuff. It's expanding the infrastructure, but it's going to need to be supported on food, water, and taking that absolute stress. Knowing, it's okay. This new system we've created here, it's got you. It's going to support you whilst you do this. Really? Yes. For how much? For nothing. But it's okay. We'll deal with that. We'll look after your family. We're going to look after this. We're going to lift you. We help you. You help us. And together, we help each other. Isn't that far more powerful than, oh, me, I got to earn this. Look how much I got in my bank account. Come on, look at this. Look at all of these things I've got on me. I'm one of those crabs in the ocean that sticks everything all over me. Look at me. Just me. Oh. God, it must be boring. What a lonely world. Well done, you. Must be wonderful. No. If it meant that you got to that me set mindset to get to this set to then utilize that into something that was more powerful and supports everybody, then that is a fucking beautiful gift that you could ever give. That makes you legacy makers, statue bearers, and people to be remembered. 100 years ago, who made the most amount of money? We don't know. You don't know. Okay, 100 years ago, who did the most amount of good shit? You do remember, in 100 years, name me some people that did some really good breakthroughs.
100 years.
Well, 200 years. Go back in your history. Do you remember them?
I don't know when they lived, some people.
Okay, it doesn't matter when they
But
lived.
I remember some people who were scientists. I don't know.
So you could say loads of people. I could reel them off right now. I'm not exactly going to go to. You could say Mother Teresa. You could say Malcolm X. You could say Martin Luther King. You could say the one who did the human rights. Again, don't remember the name. Forgive me. Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, I have him on my head.
Albert Einstein, Tesla.
Yeah.
There are females. I just don't know many of them because
Marie
it seems to
Curie.
be. Yes, there you are. There you are.
You already named Mother Teresa.
Princess Diana.
There was Florence Nightingale.
Yes, there you are. Name me the people that were rich. So it's important to be remembered by all the people that are here now. Name me all the famous people. All of them. All the way through. Backwards. Go on. Label them up.
Famous people. Any famous people?
In the past.
In the past? You remember them? Some of them? I don't know all of them. I know some. I don't know.
It's fleeting.
Yeah, it is.
Legacy is keeping.
Yeah. Only certain ones I remember, but there were many probably.
I think people will remember Zuckerberg. I think that's going to be well renowned. Creator of Google, I have no idea. It's not very well easily memorized. Jeff Bezos, revolutionized delivery services.
Yeah.
Which you have no idea how valuable that is to moving. If anyone is going to coordinate how to move large amounts of food and resources from one planet to another, he would be the one you need to go to because he can help with the people that are there to build something like that. Him and Zuckerberg and whoever is running Google would come together and run this stuff together. They would be able to create a programming system to allow robotics to do it for you. Mailing botics, different things like that. Not from one doorstep to another, but from one system to the other. Again, if you had loads of rockets, you see, the thing is, you'd have to send one off. And then another month, send another one. Then another month, send another one. And these are you're going to have to be very calculated of how these orbit, where they're going to orbit, so they don't crash into each other. in these rockets, if they can refuel at the same time by using the gases and then send down a barragement of different, I could say probes, but robot probes, whatever, to go scouting out. Send solar-powered bulldozers and diggers and excavators to push away the area. You know, you can dig and tunnel into a small hole that gets dark, which has loads of problems, or you can bulldoze the fucking arse out of it and then allow the light to go in. And once you've done, I don't need anything from here, we're going to dig in the other side. You know, you can also, with the stuff that's been bulldozed, you can mine for it by making conveyor belts that sift through this stuff.
Yeah.
All
Find
different variants, yeah.
something else that you didn't originally want.
And then these bots will set about to put pressure on things. Again, you can get a robot to collect. You see, when digging into the moon, there's a problem with it. You're not heavy enough. But you can find anchor points and begin to strap to pull down a robot, which pushes it on the force. It gives it more force that when it puts it onto an object or a drill, it can drill into things much more easier. Humans can do this as well. You know, if you were to take on some straps and you got some fixed anchor points on the floor, fixed anchor points on the other floor, and you're standing on some scales, you tie a rope to this anchor point and another rope to the anchor point, and you tie it to your wrists, and you stand on the scales. You might only be 9 stone, which is what I am. Then you begin to pull on these anchor points, and you can get up to 11, 12, 13, 14 stone. I've just now artificially created gravity. Now, if I use a strap and attach it to a belt that's really tight on me, and I attach one to my arm, my legs, my waist, and my shoulders, and I begin to tighten all of these up, it might pull me in this direction, and it might pull me back so it straightens me, and then the others pull me down. I can make those scales turn even more so. And if I want to tunnel into something, piece of wood, me pressing on the point, not good enough. But if I anchor myself more, and then I put this on the floor, and then I anchor into it, I can drill through big pieces of wood. Our ancestors definitely would have used the same process. They didn't operate hard, they fought smart. So if they anchor themselves in whilst chiseling, you've just turned your body mass index of 9 stone. What are you capable of hitting at? What happens if you anchor yourself in and hit the same object? Can you get more might in it because you're more heavier? Can you then throw that weight into that object? Can you do more with it if you have anchor points? Can you stand more? Can you pull more stuff? Yes. Yes, you can. Why? Because your anchor points are more. You've increased your gravity using very little effort. When you've done that, you can pull heavier objects. Well, you can pull it to you, and then if someone else takes the slack who's further away, they pull it to them, then you pull the next one, and you're on anchor points. You can move large and heavy objects very easily by increasing your mass, your pressure on an object. You can also drill if you lean into something. You're going to exert. So if I'm digging, and I dig with a fork, I've broken lots of forks, by the way. There's metal ones. I've also bent them by trying this. I can't dig something. The problem is, every time I go to dig into it, I can lift myself up onto the fork. And the ground is just, it wins every time because the object is bigger than I am. The mass is too big, and it's too rooted, and it's too this, and it's too... But if I put anchor points on me, I look stupid doing it, and then I do it, I can turf that shit very quickly. Why? Because I'm not just putting my 9 stone into it, I've turned my 9 stone into 20 stone. Now I use that force. Now that force of 20 stone is now hitting onto the end of the fork.
And into stable 20.
Yeah, stable 20. And what happens then is I find that the object that I'm using breaks under that pressure. Why? Because now the object I'm using is no longer strong enough. Then if I fill this object up with metal and I start cramming in metal bars into the inside of the metal fork, I can then add even more to it, and that thing then has a bend ratio of over a force of what I'm able to do, even if I add more force to myself. So when you understand that, it's a little bit of science, by the way. Got bored one time, and I just wanted to see if it was possible, and it is. It will fascinate you. As long as you are on a stable ground, if you do it too much, you can also push yourself through floors. So the floor may be able to take this much weight over the mass of the room, but yet then you start to add in anchor points and pull yourself, which basically adds more weight to you without being exhausting. If you carry it in a rucksack, it becomes a bit more exhausting. But when you anchor yourself, for some reason, it's less exhausting. And even if you kneel down and do it, so you spread the load or sit on your bum, it's more by design. You can anchor yourself even more so. But again, you have to increase the scale ratio and hope that that doesn't break under the pressure that you're exerting. So if you take this with robots on the moon that has less gravity, and you find anchor points when bulldozing, some things are not going to move out of the way. You're going to find the heavy objects. It's going to be really hard to dig these up. But what you've got is an anchor point. And then you may have another anchor point, and you can use a jack where robots can be made to become rigid. They can change their legs, if you like, to not be 2 points and become a tree stump, a mass, a bigger mass. And when it goes into that mode, the robot, it then shoots out into the rock, burrows into the rock. It's easier to screw into this rock and find an anchor point that's really good and sturdy. And then it begins to make the, I would say rope, but it's not rope. It's more, anyway, rope's fascinating. That's why you've built it. You ever wonder why your ancestors played around with making all types of rope and hair and weaving and plaiting? If you didn't do this, this would never work. Do you see how the past is supporting you now and you didn't even realize it? The puzzle pieces are not just out there. They're not just in here. They're everywhere. They're in you. The way you walk, the way you move, you are leaking a puzzle. Everything, everywhere, everyone has this vibrational puzzle. Everything you do, even if it's carving a piece of wood, even if it's plaiting and trying to find strength in rope, all of this is for a reason. You think it's just a handy thing to hold something up with. No, it's not. It's actually been designed for this purpose they are now revealing. Interesting. So if you put these anchor points on and you have a stump as opposed to legs, but it's robotics, you can make it so it becomes rigid. Therefore, it can exert by using the weight of that object to burrow down and dig into another. Then you're able to break things apart. And you've got the energy to do so because you don't block the sun by going into a cave. Make caves irrelevant. Caves worked on the Earth. Caves will not work on other planets. They do if humans are going in there, but still you're going to need a hell of a lot of life support system. Caves become complex. You might as well blow the whole fucking thing up. You haven't got nothing to worry about. Stick a fucking nuke in it. Well, I'd say a hydrogen bomb maybe with oxygen. Anyway, I would fucking blast it open. Maybe. Not too much, you know, just a little. To make the cave into more of a crater. You don't want cave. Or I would take a massive rock, a boulder that I find in space, and I'd control where I slam meteorites. Well, that made a fucking nice thing. Cool, it also vaporized some of this stuff over here. Well, that made it easy to transport. Wonderful. I'd use the star to melt things. You've got to orchestrate it. You've got to get it going. And it's... In the first 5 years, it seems like nothing's happening. Imagine if this was running away. In the first 5 years, you've sent, I don't know, let's say 100 rockets in 5 years. And they've been working down there for 5 years. Now they're starting to bring produce up, and the first payload, is being sent up a bit at a time. If you get it done and you're able to do it via solar technology, you've utilized no fuel. If you're able to do it via gases of the planet, whatever they have, and you can spit it back out so you're not losing it, and you can get it put into the rocket just by throwing it up, and it's able to, you know, the meteorite process, if you can get it so that it exceeds the speed of the object that you're throwing it from, it's going to carry on traveling, but you don't want it too fast, and the rocket is open, it will catch it. Make it magnetic, it will find its way home. Once this is in the rocket and the payload starts coming, after, 5 years? It might take 10 years. You've then got one whole rocket full of resources entering back to the planet. Not only that, the robots have been there. And if they're remote control robots, how about making a game that was virtual reality, but real reality? So I wire myself up with all of these controls, yes? When I move, the robot moves. Yeah? Everything I do, the robot will do. But do you know where it's going to do it? On the moon. Becomes a game. A very nice game. In fact, what's it going to be called? It's not going to be Minecraft, it's going to be called Build Reality. You put a bolt in and do the simulation of doing a bolt motion, the computer already automatically knows what this motion means. So you learn hand gestures. When you go to do that, it picks things up. When you look down, it comes up with these tools. Because there's a delay, there's a way around this delay. It's fucking wonderful. Everything you do in that computer, and even then, let's say if it wasn't done where you were wearing a suit, let's say you were doing it on a computer game. You've just then told that robot what it's going to do, and by tomorrow when you leave it and you go away from the computer game, it appears like it's done it, but then it sends you a snapshot of what has actually been built. So if you built a structure, a metal frame, steel frame, whatever it may have been in your game to build up something, every day you play that game, and you can do it much quicker. So you can have the simulation of all of the things that you need versus all of the things that the robot has at its reach ratio. You build this into the game, and already you've just programmed it. It's going to get on with that. It might take 2 days, but even if it does, it then sends you back a video feed of what you built by using the game. That's an interesting thing. That makes gaming much more... You know, everyone's like, oh, you're wasting your life playing on that game. Then let's start making it so that it doesn't waste your life then. Let's make it so that you're doing real-time shit on a game, building stuff, and it's actually happening on the moon. And what's more, you're learning without actually being there. And then let's say we fast forward this a little bit, you know, it's not as easy as just me saying it, because there will need to be some programming going into this, but it can be done. Just by looking, I like to do that. I like to look at what's already here in reality already. And you can already do this with the tools that are already here. This is quite logically built because what you already have, after all, it is a design. You're doing this for a reason. Anyway, so this is why it's possible, because you've played with reality, and reality is saying, I'm going this way. Yes, this is what it's speaking to. But no one's actually going that way. You need a conductor. And lots of conductors, not just one, multiple, but still. Can you imagine that? Just by playing a game, people have built cities on fucking far away. Not just any type of city, a city that is so fully all the way around that it's airtight, that it could be lifted up at any moment and thrown into lunar orbit, or Martian orbit, or Jupiter orbit. Because people say, oh, it's going to take such a long time. Yeah, if our ancestors were worried about that, you know, they would never have fucking sailed to America. Would they?
They knew
it took 3 months. It's going to take 3 months. Compared to now, you'd be like, fuck that. Concorde. Take my life. I need to go here. I just took all of those. You've got some very nice things in your life. Okay, fair enough. Get on board then. 2 minutes later, boom. Why are you opening this flap? You see that parachute? Take it and jump out. We don't land these things. They go too fast. When you jump out, it's all... Anyway, but still, you know... It's got to start somewhere. And that's about it. Making the start. And when you make the start, fucking hell, man, you've just paved the way. So 10 years later, these rockets that have been gathering this stuff, or you build a computer simulation version of robots that you have on the moon that have just seen a load of this stuff, and then it comes up in the game, in a game format. What would you do if you saw all of this? Ching, ching. Minecraft is so successful. You understand that, yes? But what about real life craft?
Life craft, yeah.
It shows you that what you're going to do. Well, it takes an image of a particular area on the moon. It shows you it. And then you've got these tools that are known to work there. Then you take these tools and build it into the game. And as you're doing it into the game, this is nothing more than it's going to send a signal from your device out over to the moon. And they'll say, oh, we can't send internet signal over there. Want to bet? Do you want to bet? It's called Christmas tree effect. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you think about it, yes, you can. One device of another device of another device. I'm pretty sure that Elon Musk would be able to fucking blink this and it would happen. I'm pretty sure he would be able to build something like this. And getting together with the right people at the right time, coming together, because it's going to take a lot of people coming together. I think this is possible.
Yeah.
To have all of this built. And then before you know it, the game then updates with what you've just done, and it's just sent those coordinates to a bot. next day you might see it. You're going to go and get on with something else anyway, and then in the meantime it's done all of this stuff. Now what can you do with that stuff? Can you go put it in a barrel? Might seem like the most boringest thing to begin with, but it will adjust.
Yeah.
I think people can find interest in things like that, and then you get that sort of wall of fame. This person built this. This person took what that person built and built this on top of it. And then we'll start to see this weaving effect of everyone working together, and it doesn't matter whether the person started to the person that is living in it. It just goes to show you then that the next person that lives in it, the next person that utilizes that, and who it supports, what it supported, what it built, what it created, it's an ongoing creation. That's legacy. That's amazing, that is, isn't it? And then these people can teach these people, and the next person can teach the other one, whereas the other person can teach somebody else how to get going, or I think people find it anyway, but just by seeing, how do you play this game? Like this. Oh, yeah. All right, I see that. They did this. I wonder if I could do that a little bit different. Bypass this stuff. Yeah. You're leaving a book behind, a visual book. They saw how not to do it, and now they're going to go and do it, and it's in a slightly different way. Now you have chapter 2. The learning never stops. What was missed the first time is developed, and then they might have some ideas for the developers. Do you reckon you could make the system a bit more like this? They never say, I don't know. They just go quiet. That means they're tinkering.
Thinking, yeah.
They're doing something. And then it just happens. The next update comes and they've already put all of those things in. Because that's what they do. Yeah, it's fucking amazing, isn't it? And then slowly but surely, they might not have done that without you doing your bit. But you wouldn't have done it if they didn't do their bit. No one is above anybody in that. It's a push and pull effect, right? The yin and yang pulling on a saw. Wonderful. The orbiting. And then does this create a mindset in the people that it takes all of us? We all work together, no one above the rest. We all have our sacred place. And then what type of a society are we all creating in that aspect? And then stuff starts coming into Earth, or it goes into this place over here, a storing bay, or it's moved over there for later. Then it starts here, and then the future, before you know it, are drying the oceans of fucking Europa. Collecting the moisture, moving the salt, using the sun. Well, that's going to take about 10 years. Yeah, and then after 10 years, if you keep sending while receiving, you then get a chain. Everything that's being sent to everything that's coming back. In the first start, it's going to seem like forever. But then when it starts coming in, it's like a factory. You've just converted one part of the solar system into a factory that is beneficial for everybody. But people are going to need supporting while they do that. There's no way on this earth that they're going to be able to hold a full-time job, run around after this, worry about money, get burnt out in this. They're never going to achieve that in that structure, that system. A system is designed for failure. Square with it one day or another, but that is not it. They say I'm delusional, right? I don't know. I've been watching Delusion. By the way, we believe it. I just can't get into it. I just cannot. It's just, man. Oof. Look where it's heading. It's heading for extinction. That's the way I see it personally. Okay, it's not all doom and gloom with pockets that survive but then fizzle out through other mechanisms that play out on top of it. Sad, but it's not the end, because it can shift. It can shift. It has shifted. It can do it again. That's why these structures need supporting. You like doing that sort of thing? Well, then move it into your power, because then we unlock all of our power. Wow. And before you know it, you're building your own version of Gaia that doesn't have floods. Well, it does in hydroponics. It doesn't have forest fires, unless sometimes we burn a circuit. Whoops, that wasn't very good, but we learned something about fire safety. Not something that we can tell people about, but we can have things that automatically kick in. So you can live as you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Find ways of growing food. Bringing back resources that we've never seen before. But we can only imagine. And you can't even imagine it, really, can you? How good is this for medicine? How good is this for equipment? How good is this? You know, look at what they did, the hunter-gatherers did with such a small amount of resource that they're... Look at what they managed to do. Bronze Age, Wood Age, Iron Age, fucking hell, they even carve in the Ice Age. Look at what they did. Such a little amount of stuff. Look. Now apply that shit, and that happened. Fact. To the universe. What could you do? With all of this stuff that starts coming in. Sure, you're going to look at it and be like, oh, it's sacred. Look at this necklace. Well, it starts off as a necklace, and then someone else melts it down and transforms it. Well, fucking hell, you can do this with it. Now I've made a clock. Look at this shit. It flows on water really well. I made a boat. I made something so indestructible that it can cope the crushing depths of Jupiter. Deeper and deeper. It becomes sports day. Do you know what the sports day is? Kids build probes that are able to get closer and closer to Jupiter's core. I mean, just for fun. Deeper and deeper into a star. And then the winner teaches everybody else how to do it and build one. And then they see what they overlooked, and then update the system, and then everyone's building it in this way, that way, this way. Fucking what a life. Hands-on experience, building all of that, understanding how to program it. That's an education, that is. That is an education. A fun one. An experience exploring, developing more than any money can buy. That is an education, as far as I'm concerned. Build it, create it, watch it, fail from it, learn that failure is okay. Don't give up, determination, and then keep going until they get it. And then they show us adults how it's done. That's not about pride, that's about happiness. Tears to the eyes, right? Mm-hmm. Them little minds were capable of doing things that blows all expectation. Yeah, sure, I understand that we don't want to be reckless and ruthless and all the rest of it. I get it. There should be a limit, not to drive them. They're not slaves. They're right to experience and explore. I think they would want to do it. I really do. I remember in my schooling that people say, oh, why can't we do something like where we were growing stuff? Why can't we do something like where it's this? Yeah, your little garden never really goes away, does it? And then if the food begins to develop on different planets in a different way and evolve, remember, it's not just you that's got to evolve to this and adapt to it. It's going to be nature, animals. And if you go first, but don't take it, you are going to evolve and it is going to be delayed. That would not be a good thing because nature evolved before you did. And nature, like it or lump it, paved the way for you. So it has to go in that. Again, this is the missing information. So we understand that there's parts of the universe that you don't understand that happened before you became aware. There's also the human development where there's parts of the human development that you don't know. It's a question mark. You can guess at it all the time and believe you know it. And then if you go around and see again and find it backwards when you pass the information backwards, as you are teaching them, they are going to be teaching you in real time. It's unknown at the moment. So all of these mysteries that are around, and it makes you go, bloody hell, why is it there? It's put into you by design. This is a design that gets you desperate for the information, and therefore you'll do anything to get it, even if it meant working backwards to bring it forwards. Then you begin to fill in the blanks. Then if you go around again and see the universe restart, it fills in the blanks. You can either A, go there and experience it because you haven't got to that eureka moment, or you can learn it from something else, or it can be a bit of both. Mm-hmm. Is it or isn't it on this way being guided, and also your own guidance system. Where you go in with this, how you use that very little. Because the little power that you use and you use it rightly, and then more information comes in, it builds you up. Therefore, it gives you more power because you're now becoming responsible. Then more power, more power, more power. Not illusional power, real power. The abilities, it unlocks, it'll evolve you in a way where we're all scared that we might evolve and not have any bones. But how do you not know that isn't the best thing that could ever happen to you? It's going to transform you because then it teaches you something. What does it teach you? That life forms that have left their planet are going to look a lot different to what you are. That's what it's going to teach you, that change and the way things look and operate is not necessarily makes them higher or lower than you. It just, you rise together in that way, yes? So then you get an understanding. Oh, that's why. You don't need to ask the question of why people look this, and this. So the information that can't be known, and then there's star formation. You'll think you'll have the most best picture ever. And then all of a sudden some new information will come in because you reset, let's say, and you see it begin to, and you're like, what the hell? And it shatters your whole understanding. And painstakingly, you've got to rebuild it. Some actually get it and work it out correctly, I will say that. But then other things they missed completely. It's not failure, it's just they're willing to adjust it and rebuild into it to get the clearer picture. Oh, it's wonderful, really, isn't it? But you've got to get there yourself, because then it teaches you to be self-reliant. And then what can you bring into that? What can you bring into the fold? Because your perspective, dynamic and understanding and the way your hardware is in you, the way you build things, is unique to the way something else has built things and has understood things, because that's become your overall art form, in divided little art forms as well, creative forms, art forms. But something else has gone in a different direction, and it is with their programming has adapted them in a very different way, and it's made them do things with other things that you would never think to do. And that has evolved their art form, and their art form is different to your art form. But when you combine these art forms, it creates a new art form, and then combined with something else. And then when you backward learn from the two things that you have learned, you then create something else. They create something else, and then you can put these two again. So what you first combined is one thing, spectacular. The second thing, on top of your going away and then putting your own unique fingerprint into it. We were not allowed to do this much in this world today. You know, you have to follow rules, and you're not allowed to do it this way. You have to do it this way. Yeah. This second version, when they've gone away and looked at what they've created together, they sort of tweak it in their own way. It's wonderful. And then there's something else that comes together that they missed on the first one, and then there's transition in the second and the third and the fourth. And there's also then this transition in where they're still evolving, because it never stops. And then if something else comes in and you combine this, do you see how very beautifully, quickly and fast, how everything begins to mangle together? Mm. And it just, when you think you know it all, it changes again and again and again and again and again and again, and then more things are coming into it, and again and again and again. This begins to blow your mind. Well, what else is there? Where does it end? It doesn't end. Why is it not ending? Why does it still keep? It still keeps going, unlimited, infinite, like a spectrum, like more than a spectrum. It's much more than what you understand here. Everything here is limited to a degree, has potential to expand. Okay. Universal cycles, and if you keep on bringing the elements back and influencing those, so it gives it enough time to develop past iron, and then past the next one, and then past the next one, and past the next one. And it seems to be a creation that just keeps on going and going and going, and it has no bounds, no limit. And then when it's in this transition and period of some stuff that you have never ever heard of, it is able to create it and destroy it and recreate it and destroy it in that sort of chapter. And then the next one you do it with, and you advance it further, and it creates another one, and then it's like, whoa, And then the life forms that are in that are so much more intricate and valuable, but still, again, limited on what they learn from that. That is them teaching you about the very thing that they're living in. It's much more wiser to understand it from the life forms, but again, you need to know a lot. Some of them want to learn a lot more than what you currently get a chance to understand. It's like having Einstein. Don't you think the bounds of his quantum mind have never been explored? And wouldn't it be a weird thing to understand that it never ends? Where does it end? How much time do you need? Well, time's a concept that is constructed here. This time limit of existing in a time frame that you've got to be able to do as much as you can before something fizzles out. Life is a time frame that's put on you. You're born, then you have to learn a load of stuff, and then, well, then you have this time of development and study and understanding, and then you die. That's a time frame construct that you're in. But when you're out of that, you would think that that was all you could learn in a lifetime. Mm-hmm. But it's really not. And then there's the pitfalls, the rises, the dips, the rise, the peaks and valleys, right? The times are good, times are bad, times are this, challenge, this. And then you look at those challenges and you think, I want to be the one that is in control of those inside the construct. Can it be? And then you begin to remove the factors that plague your crops, that plague your water, that plague your heating and cooling. And these things begin to support you. Now you've got more time. Now, then you understand that there's an even bigger envelope, that the more time you get, the more you discover, and the more you discover. And then when you die, and then if you were to be resurrected in the understanding of the divine, you've got even more time. And then you understand that it has no limit as to what you are capable of doing in your certain field. And it just keeps on going and going. And even surprise yourself of what you learned first. And then you dive into something else and learn something else of somebody else's. And then you see something within theirs. And again, it adds to what you know. And what you thought you knew as being everything actually turns out to be a very small piece of grain of sand. And the bounds of your quantumness is just, it's vast. It is so vast. There's no beginning and no end. Let's say there's no beginning. When you become aware of it, which becoming aware of it means that it was more in existence before you were about, so it didn't begin. You just become aware of this quantumness, yes? Mm-hmm. And then everyone's trying to look for the end, but never find it. Just find that there's only more transformation and more learning versus more. But if you don't like it, then existence after this is just probably not for you then. And anyway, I think I said too much. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'm not really going to go into all of this, even though I have for the past 3 days, because I don't know. It's been chewing around in the back of the head for a bit. I dived into this remotely in Griffin Court, just surfacely, really. And before the time of cameras. I used to talk about a lot of stuff. It was different then. It was more stoic. Group of friends, group of people, group of acquaintances, strangers, whatever, and just a small group. And just excel this sort of stuff. And it's nice because you get to play pass the parcel, although you sort of be the main lead in it while talking out. People come in with their input and take the floor. Mm-hmm. But it's a little, but their field of what they want to talk about is far more diverse than this fragment of what I understand, and it's highly valuable too because it helps me learn something. It was a bit more stoicism back then. There were cameras, but there's no way your parents would ever let you have those, you know. Yeah. And yeah, selective of who you talk to or when you talk to and how deep you go. And I think that's a beautiful invention of cameras and different things like that, that it means that you can be yourself. And usually the audience finds you, and whether it's a big one or a small one or none at all, it doesn't really matter. The fact is that you're molding the quantum. I'm already trying to find the bounds of this. Mm-hmm. And you don't really find them. Yeah. It's an unlimited resource that's untapped. Yeah, and if other people may not know how to reach that, then they don't need to if someone else is willing to explore it for you. Because if you're more in the physical, then that's where you resonate. That's where you're at. It doesn't mean that I'm better, you're better. It means that we are both opposite ends of a coin. That when we lock together, look at what we can do. That's how it is. You know, it doesn't mean that anyone's better or worse. Or I admire and hat off to you for the quantum version that I do. You do in reality. So that's all. You are much more of a master in that. But again, teaching you your bounds, your limits, or have you ever thought of this? And then you go away and build upon it and run away with that. That's fascinating. That's a ripple. Yeah, it's a gift. That is a fucking raw talent. That you're able to do that. Instruction manual. How you are able to take that and build upon it. Oh, it's beautiful. I like that. That's a ripple effect. And then seeing what you're able to do with it then feeds further to then go again and again. And where does that stop? Well, only where you decide it to, either side. But other than that, there's no limit. There's no limit. Shooting star, once it goes, it goes. But there again, shooting star's limit. Universal cycle from one to the other. It's unlimited. You're in an unlimited, but in a limited perspective because you see it that way. Because you're designed to. Yeah, knows no limits. What you can do. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. That's going to be me out for a bit. So, yeah, the fascinating M, which goes one way, and it's going one way, which is in reverse. The past is teaching the future, isn't that? That is weird. And then the future teaches the past. Oh, my days. And it's almost like time goes backwards, but forwards in this way. Which way does time really go? When you become aware of it. If you were in the backward process, being taught from the future down to the past, and if we remove your past versus future receptor, understanding of it, you would think that the future naturally taught the past. Man, that's so... It's because you are aware of it going this way, so you class it as a direction. Gee, me, isn't that... Get your head around it, and somewhere along the lines, you might be like, I get it, but it's fucking weird to explain it, sort of thing, you know? What you think you know turns out to be a tip, a very small tip, piece of grain of sand. And the more you learn, the more you gather, the more you collect, the more you got, the more you understand, and the more you're able to create, and the more you're able to outlive, then the more you're able to make resources, medicines, and live longer. And so yeah, that thing where I was talking about, just want to cover that loose end about eternal life, if you were to give it to the hunter-gatherers. Well, they didn't have hospital, did they? Again, that's something else, right? So, and they didn't have any capability of being able to fix this stuff if it were to ever go wrong. Do you understand? So, eternal life seems evil. Yes? Yeah. In that understanding of it. And then you would say that, sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you then. Too close for comfort on that one. That was close. I smell it. So, you know, with the eternal life in that aspect, if you don't have a hospital or the capability to do something about it if something goes wrong, you could look at life as being quite evil, especially with your hypocritical mindset. And you could label it as that. And Lilith, is it Lilith? The demon woman.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Misunderstood, I think. If true, and different things like that there is... No. If there was anything like that existed, then it would be tempered, balanced. I'm sure that if we understand Lilith as being a force, then on one side of her she has a heart of gold, a love that knows no bounds, compassion that knows no limits, and on the other side she has a hate, an eternal hate and eternal love. Which one do you bring out of her? And which one does she choose to side with? Or, if we talk about wings and angel, is understood to have found balance, the middle, and understands each side as a tool. So Lilith, although demonic in some understanding of it, I don't know. Even your understanding of God is demonic in one way or another, depending on what it chooses to do. If that force be it. The universe could be looked at as evil. It gives you life and then it can take it. That can be looked at as evil. It's great when it gives you the life and the opportunities, but then when it takes it, that's when you hate it. Do you see it sort of... by and large, there's a reason, and the same with this force here, or God, or whoever. I don't know. It's, for me personally, to hear that story, it's very crippling. For me to understand that, I would like to take Lilith and try and work with her. Do you understand that? That to try and not tame the beast, but have all of that hatred thrown. I don't know that I really think it gives a shit if it was true, yes. But take it by the hand and show it. Do you get what I mean? It's potential of love. What's the backstory? No one knows. You don't just find evilness in that construct. And the devil? Come on. I'd douche them both with a newspaper. I've always said that. You would find balance. That would be a very bad lesson to teach people. That would. So no, to me, the devil is neutral. God is neutral. Lilith is neutral. And I see the potential on both wings to be either or. So, that's where I see it. So they have potential. So yeah, and non-existence for anything that stays too far in one side, because it defeats the object of limited capability. So something that got that capable, I don't know. I wouldn't. Anyway, right, let's leave it there and let's fizzle this one. How long has this one been? About 2.5?
2 hours and 12 minutes.
Jeez. All right. Okay, fair enough.